Ramzan Kadyrov, for 15 years as head of Chechnya, has turned the republic into his personal estate, of course with the permission of the Kremlin. After all, for Putin he is a truly ally, like his father Akhmat Kadyrov, who during the Second Chechen War supported Moscow.
What Putin thinks Kadyrov for him is like the main guarantee that Chechnya will be relatively stable and loyal to Moscow and to him personally. The second reason is that Kadyrov is seen as an important ally of Putin and Zolotov, the head of the National Guard, in case of some internal processes, instability in the Russian Federation, including if an opposition movement starts in the Russian Federation.
Putin has already tested Kadyrov's personal devotion and ability to deal with unwanted people.
There is a version that the murder of Nemtsov was organized by Kadyrov on behalf of Zolotov and with Putin's permission, and this is a well-known fact.
For the service, the payment. Kadyrov has stated that the Kremlin has spent 300 billion rubles on Chechen Republic this year, although in the official report of the Russian Ministry of Finance, the amount is 10 times less. But this money, obvious, is not enough for Kadyrov. He has to get it from his own compatriots.
The Kremlin fully finances Kadyrov. What kind of funding is this? Permission for Kadyrov to rob the Chechen people? Most state employees are obliged to pay 10–15% of each payment to Akhmat Kadyrov's fund, and Kadyrov has fun with his money.
Kadyrov also demands kickbacks from business, and moreover he protects criminals. Kadyrov does not hide his love for money. A 10 billion ruble palace in Grozny, an elite stable with champion horses, and friendship with Russian stars are only part of Kadyrov's beautiful life. Although, according to official income, he can't even afford half that luxury. According to the declaration, last year he earned 27 million rubles. At the same time, Kadyrov relatives and friends who got high positions in the government earn more.
Kadyrov's sister bought in Moscow a 2-story penthouse for $1 million, and her husband, the vice-speaker of the Chechen parliament, Kadyrov's son-in-law, did not indicate this penthouse in his declaration. All official posts in Chechnya are appointed like the best places, people who are devoted to him, and the worst, just his relatives. Kadyrov's nephew, sister's son, was a mayor of Grozny, then became vice-premier of the government of Chechnya.
Kadyrov also sponsors his army of guerrillas, whose military fame, however, is limited to videos on social networks. But their cruelty and sadism are confirmed by surviving witnesses from the Chechen Republic and now from Ukraine.
Kadyrov has several tens of thousands of trained combatants, which is not much by Russian standards, and of course he takes care of them and Putin takes care of them. That is why Kadyrov's combatants are deployed in Chechnya as barrier troops. According to some evidence, they draw Russian units formed from ethnic Russians into combat.
Therefore, statements of Kadyrov are nothing more than PR and manipulation.
He likes to be begged. A few years ago, he even launched an action Ramzan Don't Leave. These slogans, inscriptions were everywhere. State employees were driving out into the streets. They made people cry. Children were crying, Ramzan don't leave. Kadyrov likes when he is surrounded by attention, so it was a common PR.
Although Kadyrov is preparing a reserve plan, experts say, like the entire Putin circle. As soon as the regime begins to collapse, all of the Russian dictator's allies will try to escape and establish themselves somewhere else. Reported by Roman Smoler, Ksenia Barvinenko, UATV News.